All right, so it's Tawnya Love. I'm back for part two. And I just was like, what am I going to name this episode? And I feel like it's really connected to how we can ward off chaos, confusion, and black magic. And so I'm sharing some of my own personal life with you because that's what I have to share. And I'm hoping that it will help a lot of you that might be going through similar things, whether it's something exactly like what I'm going through or just subtle, similarities. It's important that we really pay attention to what's best for us. And in the last series that I shared, I was talking about the importance of self-love, healthy boundaries, and forgiveness. And I feel like this really is an important piece that feeds upon that. Again, if we're not having self-love, then we will invite people into our life that will bring us chaos and confusion. Sadly, when we're struggling to love ourselves, we're in a lower frequency. And so we often will allow lower energies in that normally, if we were feeling really confident and safe and supported, we might never have even entertained. And so it's important to look into your life on, even if something like this has happened, how do you forgive yourself? Because I think the most important people that we need to forgive is ourselves. Because if we feel like we can't trust ourselves, or we turn on ourselves, we reject ourselves because of how other people have treated us, then we're really going to be in trouble because we're going to be in a very low frequency. And so it's so important that we forgive others, but that we forgive ourselves for even allowing that kind of a person or that kind of an experience to have entered our life. And once we understand that and we start to practice loving ourselves and we're taking good care of ourselves, it's going to make a lot more sense on why it's so important to have healthy boundaries. Understand this. A person who is not truly now, and it's interesting because often I've met people who in the past who they don't truly love themselves, but they really act like they're like it's all about them. Like they seem to be self-obsessed, right? Very self-absorbed. Everything's about them. They're obsessed with their own energy, their own self, but they're not. There's a difference between that and actually loving yourself. And so understanding that people that do not truly know how to love themselves in a healthy way, they cannot do that for you. That was a huge lesson for my life. How many years I spent hoping to get love from people who didn't even know how to fucking love themselves is sad. But I forgive and I understand at a deep level where the programming came from. I understand that I was trained in that energy very young, and I have forgiven myself and I have freed myself from that. But I also can see like how it was a no-win situation. If you're with a person that doesn't truly love themselves, there's no way they're going to actually care about your feelings. They're not going to care about if they hurt you. They're not going to care about if they're cheating and lying and like manipulating or betraying you. They're not going to care because they don't really love themselves. Everything is very much about, like, when a person doesn't truly love themselves in a healthy way, they're very lustful, they're very needy, they're very greedy, they're very jealous, they're very envious. They need and seek external validation. Like they need attention from all of the fucking village people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's females or males. And for some of those males that maybe you were working so hard to get loyalty from, they don't even care if they're getting the attention from a male or a female. So be mindful. Like all they care about is getting the validation. All they care about is winning. All they care about is taking. And so this is not the kind of people you want to build a life with. And that's something I can see now why Source God really was protecting me, and why some people's rejection was in fact spiritual protection. It was to help me really see this person was not good for me. This person didn't give a fuck about me. This person definitely was not someone who I could build an empire with, because they just wanted to try to steal what they could and run. they still, they go and steal a kiss, or still, a few months having somewhere to live. Like, to them, they're very short sighted. People like this, they're not looking at long-term stability. They're not looking at how to build a structure for it to last. They're not looking at building a solid foundation. They're not looking at the importance of loyalty and devotion and dedication to anything. They're sketchy, they're distracted, and they're shallow. And so people like that, they're going to let you down every time. And so something that I had to really see is stop investing your loyalty and your love and your devotion in people like that. It's not that those people don't deserve love. And that's one of the things I feel that they hooked me with, is that I really feel everyone deserves love. But when I realized that they're not capable of really receiving it in a pure way, and they're not capable of giving love, that's where I had to look into my own shadow and see the parts that I've discussed in past episodes of how our programming from childhood, if we've been abused, it can really, as an empath, we can think we're supposed to be the people pleasers, we're supposed to be the healers, the fixers, the saviors of everyone. And that is what gets us in trouble. And so in order to really evolve beyond that role and that behavior, we have to see the patterns that we've been playing, and we have to see that us being happy means we have to be really selective of the kind of people that can be in our world. And for me, as an empowered empath, I am incredibly sensitive to energy. I don't even have to be talking to a person in person to feel their energy. I don't even have to have communication from certain people to sense what they're up to sense that they're sending negativity, or to sense that they're doing little black magic, trying to cast little love spells or sex magic, or they're doing really perverted things and hoping that they can get me back and manifest me as their partner. It's not going to happen, by the way. So anybody that is playing, just know I'm aware, and it's not going to fucking happen. But these people will do these crazy things. And so for us as empaths, we can feel energy. And so think of it, if you can feel energy from a distance, at least this is the way I see it. And I know not everyone's like me, but I'm just going to explain my experience. If I can feel and sense that from a distance, then I absolutely have to be discerning of who's going to be my life partner, and who's going to share a bedroom with me, who's going to share a home with me and a life. And I realized from the past, I used to have terrible nightmares sleeping next to partners of my past that did not have healthy energy, that were not being honest with me, that were not being devoted and dedicated and loyal and being monogamous, and I would pick up on this shit in dreams. I would know it. I would feel it. I'd feel uneasy in my body, like kind of get this little twitchy thing in my body when I feel dis-ease nearby. And so it's so important that if we want to have a really healthy, thriving, happy, and abundant, blessed life, that we have to discern energy. And that was a huge lesson Spirit, brought me, so that I can then help all of you. And for me, it's like everything that I'm learning it's me leveling up from the past version of me. There's no person on this planet or off that I'm ever competing with. The only thing that I would ever even compete or compare with, and it's not even a compete, it's more of a compare with, is my past self. So the past versions of myself, I'm always looking at, okay, how am I leveling up from that? Now I get who I used to be, and I can still love her and accept her. But I can also see the parts where, okay, I see where I needed to learn some lessons. And I feel like if you don't have that kind of healthy outlook on life, and you're always competing with other people, but you're never looking at your own self, you're never looking at your own ability to be better than your last version of yourself, you are going to live a miserable fucking life. And for me, I know there's a lot of people on planet Earth that are choosing to live miserable fucking lives, but I'm not one of them. I'm going to take a sip of water. One sec. And so I've decided like there's no way I'm going to be that person. Like other people, they might be that kind of person, but what my job is to discern energy. My responsibility is to discern, is this person bringing a peaceful energy into my life? Is this person bringing love, honor, stability, loyalty, dedication, devotion? Are they bringing the good stuff? Are they pouring into my life? If a man's going to enter my life, he's going to have to add to my life. If he comes in and he takes from my peace, he takes from my abundance, he takes from my energy, that is not a wise investment. And so as women, as empowered women, we need to really pay attention to that. We're not here to save all the broken boys. I'm not here to be a fucking rehabilitation center. Like, send me your broken, wounded, toxic boys and I will rehabilitate them for God. No. And I feel like that's what I once was doing without being conscious of it. And I can be funny and kind of make a joke about it now, but be funny, be playful, whatever. But really understanding that that is not my job or responsibility to rehabilitate toxic, wounded boys that do not want to even have self-awareness. That is going to be a taxing and exhausting job. And some of us as women, grown women, it's almost like we've attracted these wounded little boys that want to come and drain our energy because they are looking for a mommy. They're looking for a fucking maid. They're looking for someone that will help give them more money and that will clean their house for them and do their laundry and tell them they're a good boy. And, fuck that. Like, I have a son, I have children, and I will tell them they're good. And I will also challenge my children, as my children know. But I am not here to rehabilitate broken boys that are walking around like aging men. Do you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. So it's so important that we pay attention and that we have discernment, because I feel like, something I was touching upon in the first episode, I was saying, I feel almost like people misread my energy. It's just this feeling I've been getting where I am very loving. I am very kind. I'm very authentic. I'm very supportive and nurturing and playful. I have a very childlike energy. It's very playful. Unless I get fucked with, and then a different energy will reveal itself, a very strong and empowered, warrior. But when I am often around people, I really feel, because my go-to is my sweet, soft, sensitive, feminine side, I often feel that people misread that. And I'm going to not just say people, manipulative people misread that and think, oh, she's such an idiot. She's so dumb. She's so stupid. Look at her. She's so nice to me. What an idiot. Like, I'm going to so take advantage of her. I'm going to take advantage of this bitch. And what's so sad is that really what they're doing is they cannot see the world as it is. They cannot see my light. They cannot see or trust my true divine nature, because theirs is so corrupted. So if they're a person that's toxic, they're a liar, they're a manipulator, they're, not at all of integrity, and they see someone like me and they think the world is like, they see the world as they are, they're going to think, oh, look at her. She's wearing a mask like I do. She's pretending to be nice like I am. Like, what a fool. I'm going to so take her down. Like, she deserves it. And it's really sad, but the psychology behind it is that these people have this dysfunction in themselves. And so they're seeing the world through the dysfunction of their own lens. Has nothing to do with me or you or other individuals that are healthy. But I feel like the mistakes some people make is they see me like I'm this sweet little, easy to take advantage of little young woman that they can just mess with. And then they try and they get a different experience. They actually see the woman that will get a protective order and will kick them out of the house. They see the woman that will fucking put them on blast if it needs to happen. They see the woman that will speak the truth and will not back down just because they try to intimidate her. And so some people, or they see like the girl that they think will forgive them 1,000,000 times, And then I finally am like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. I've given you plenty of opportunity to figure your shit out, to be of integrity, to be authentic, to be honoring. And you clearly are not capable of that. So you're done. I'm putting you back to the streets where you belong. You can go back and you can go learn somewhere else. And sadly, and this is something years ago when I taught yoga, I would teach this, that often as teachers, whatever we're teaching, we might teach through our words. Like I am today, I'm sharing this podcast. I'm sharing through my voice and through my frequency messages of truth through teaching, through words. But there are some times that humans that have had the opportunity to be in my personal world, close to me, they refused to honor or receive the wisdom of the words. And so then my way of teaching in life is to release them, and they can go learn from the silence. They can go learn in their isolation. They can go learn from hooking up with every hoe on the streets, if that's what they need to do. If they need to go and spread their seed to every woman until they are, laying in bed all crusty, I don't give a fuck. Like, people are going to go do what they're going to do. And I let them go do what they need to do. But sometimes those that didn't want to honor or see me and see my value when they had me in their life, when I was in their world, they often won't see it until they've lost me. And it's unfortunate for them. I don't look at it as me losing them. I look at it as they lost a great woman by lying to her, by manipulating, by cheating, by gaslighting, by being toxic. They lost me. And until those people can go look at themselves and really look at themselves and really do their healing work and go to therapy and tell the truth, because going to therapy doesn't mean shit if you're not actually speaking the truth to the therapist and you're not actually working on your shit. If you're just sitting in there and trying to impress the therapist and hook up with the therapist or get another person to think that you're awesome, what a waste of time, But some people, that's their journey. They got to go on their own journey, their own path, until they actually figure their shit out, until they actually heal. But for us, the ones that are caring about our growth and our progress, the important thing that we get from this is the lessons. What did we learn? And I learned a shit ton. I've learned a shit ton from the past, the men of my past, and the relationships, and even the failed friendships, the betrayals of friends that, I thought were loyal, and I was so loyal to them. I was so caring about them. And then they turned, and then they were like trying to hit on my man, or, being inappropriate or being jealous and envious towards me. And all of that, nothing to do with me, not my business, it is my business, I guess, but nothing to do with me, meaning it's nothing to do with my well-being. It's nothing to do with my worth. It's nothing to do with the woman I am. That's all their choices. And so for me, what I've learned and what I hope to share with anyone that could be, in the position where this could be helpful, is to really practice discernment. And you don't need to have someone lie to you 500 times before you finally realize you're tired of being lied to. They could lie to you once. They could lie to you 5 times. It's like, it's up to you. But you really got to see changed behavior. If a person just keeps lying and then just saying sorry, or they don't even say sorry, they just keep lying, and you just keep hoping it's going to get better, you're going to really suffer as the good woman. And I speak this as a woman. So if you're a really good man and you resonate with this because you had a really shitty woman, it can go both ways. And I will totally say that. But for me, as a good and aligned, honoring woman that has had some shitty people, I'm speaking from that perspective. But I just hope that, all of you will practice your discernment. I am certainly practicing my discernment. And I have been very much tuning into energy, and like when I can feel people sending bad energy my way, I just ground my energy. I'll go spend time in nature. I'll take nice purifying salt baths. I will play frequencies in my home. But the most important and powerful thing I do is I speak out loud with intention, and I revoke any negative energies. I deflect and I shield. I very actively visualize and activate with intention my auric field. And so I think some people think that they're getting through to me. They're like, oh, I got this telepathy with you. No, I'm just very psychic. I can sense your energy, but you need to go away. It's no different than me being able to sense a mosquito buzzing at my ear. It doesn't mean me and the mosquito, like, oh, it's my soulmate. That's my twin flame. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like some humans think because they're buzzing in your ear and they're trying to interrupt your sleep or interrupt your energy, that means that they have a connection with you. No, you're just like an annoying mosquito. And if you don't stop, I'm going to swat your ass. You need to get away from me. You know what I'm saying? So energetically, we need to be mindful of that. And I would be careful. There's so many, I notice so many different people on social media these days pretending to be psychics, and they got a deck of tarot cards, and so they're spewing stuff. And there's some that I feel are really aligned and I can sense it. But then there's a lot of people just regurgitating the exact same, what am I trying to say? Like catchphrases, like there's little words and terms, and it's like everybody's saying the same thing. And I see the majority of people doing this, and I'm just like, come on, guys, like you're just all regurgitating the same information. So I feel like be discerning of that, because even that can steer you in confusing, ways of chaos and confusion. But do pay attention to the frequency. If someone comes across and you can sense like they legit feel like they're telling me the truth and they're speaking from integrity and they're speaking as an authentic person, you can feel it. And you can also feel the performative energy, or the ones that are just trying to get famous and just get the attention. Just pay attention to that, guys. But that being said, I send you guys so much love, so much light. And to those who are working in the darkness that think they're going to mess with me or that their energy is affecting me, I sense it, but you guys are going to seriously pay karmically if you don't stop. And you probably already have noticed some things happening. And I'm not saying it because I'm doing anything. I just know how Source God works through me in my divine protection, that people come and try to fuck around, and then they do find out, and they start having the very energy they're sending is coming back to them, because that is how it works, karma. And some people want to think just because they don't believe in karma, that karma's not real. You can not believe in gravity, but go jump off a cliff and see what happens. So cause and effect. If you want to look at it like a scientist, cause and effect. You put out bad shit suddenly coming to you. You want to fuck with somebody, you want to take everything from them and pretend that, you love them and that you're being sweet, and really you're there manipulating and trying to take from them. And then suddenly you have everything being taken from you. Karma, cause and effect. So I'm going to leave on that note, and I wish everybody the exact energy they deserve. I wish everyone the exact energy they deserve. Namaste.